on the editor window over here, so that you get better placement. And it's not an easy click here 1 2 3 process. It's, you just need to be patient and continue smoothing points until you get a little bit better placement. So you can always move them by hand. Don't hesitate to do that by hand. You see that stretches them a little bit more, but always pay attention to what's happening here. There's some stretching happening here too. Where is that? Over here, because you see that how much overlapping there's over there. So just excuse me, just keep trying to see what's the best placement for this. Over here there's some overlapping. If you notice, there's a vertex all the way over there, that is kind of overlapping over these other ones here. So you want to lay that flat, and obviously checking what's happening over here. Here on the sides there's also some stretching, so you might need to work on this area over here until you're happy with the results. Just get as close as possible. Sometimes you might or might not achieve the results immediately that you want, so just keep trying, just placing them as you go. Over here on this area here, there's plenty of overlapping over here and points. Just make sure, I keep doing that, make sure you go over here on the the texture and look to see if there's any need to edit these that are overlapping there. The buttons over here, this area over here is kind of challenging, but if overall you see that the texture is fairly well placed, don't worry about stretching it too much. Just worrying about the areas where there's obvious stretching happening, like on the top and on the side of the arms, and that's the area that you need to focus on. Once you're done, you're finished with everything. Remember that you need to rescale it to fit inside that default texturing area. Okay, and since we shrunk, so to say, the map, let me activate the map. The UV texture template, you might need to go back to the hypershade, Windows rendering editors, hypershade, and maybe double up the the checker test that you just did. UV coordinates, let's follow there, and let's make it 40 by 40. It might seem like a lot, but see how it changes on the viewport. Okay, so that way you have smaller squares that allow you to see the distribution. Okay, so let's try this method. You still have time for revisions, and once you're done, you can always post your best textured like this, and then the template like this, and then a few other rendered JPEGs of the texture from different angles, so that we can see how the UVs are distributed. Especially your classmates who don't have access to your file will need to see that part to fully evaluate your project. Okay, so I look forward to seeing your revisions. Remember, we have revisions until Thursday for previously submitted work. I would like you to work on the UVs first before moving on to the second assignment, because on the second assignment you're going to apply materials, and if the UVs are distorted, then your materials are not going to look good, and on your renders it's going to appear that there's still stretching happening. Okay, so I look forward to seeing your revisions.